It was a Sunday morning in the sleepy town of Oyo-Ilesha. A gentle harmattan breeze swept through the streets, rustling leaves and bringing with it the scent of baked bread and dusty earth. At the foot of St. Michael's Church, Pastor Ajayi had just arrived for early prayers when he heard it, a soft mewing cry. At first, he thought it was a cat, but as he drew closer to the church steps, his eyes widened. Wrapped tightly in a worn-out blue blanket was a newborn baby girl. Her face was red from crying, her tiny fists clenched with desperate strength. Pinned to the blanket was a handwritten note. "Please love her. I can't." Pastor Ajayi stood there for a long moment, stunned. His hands trembled as he lifted the baby into his arms. He whispered a short prayer and carried her inside, warming her near a kerosene heater. By afternoon, social services had been called. A name had to be written down in the document. The pastor named her Maya, which means gift, because to him, Maya was nothing short of a miracle. Maya's early years were filled with the scent of cleaning supplies and the quiet hum of foster homes, from Mrs. Abiola's crowded two-room apartment to a more structured government foster house in Ibadan. Maya moved often. Each time she arrived at a new home, she was handed a bag, not a toy, not a teddy bear, just a bag with two pairs of jeans, two shirts, and a toothbrush. She learned early to be invisible. Crying didn't help. Smiling didn't help. Love, she believed, was a luxury she wasn't born with. By age 5, Maya had stopped asking questions. Her social worker, Miss Tara, a warm but overworked woman in her 30s, would always kneel and say, "Just one more home, baby. Sweetheart, just one. You are going to meet someone that will love you just like I do. Just one, please. Someone will see you." Maya never believed her until the day she met the Rivers. Mr. and Mrs. Rivers were unlike anyone Maya had ever met. Their home was quiet, calm. The walls were painted soft yellow, and the wind chimes danced on the veranda. When Maya arrived with Miss Tara, she braced herself, but Mrs. Rivers didn't ask her name. Instead, She smiled and handed Maya a teddy bear. This one doesn't have a name either, she said. Maybe you can name him. That night, Maya was served rice and chicken. Real chicken, not brood. Mr. Rivers tuckled her into bed and read from a storybook. The next morning, Maya woke up and realized her suitcase had been unpacked. No one had ever unpacked her things. The first 2 years were rough. Maya flinched when people raised their voices. She hoarded food in her closet. She rarely smiled, but the Rivers never raised their voice. They never threatened to send her back. Every tantrum was met with calm. Every question was honesty. She once asked Mr. Rivers, "Why do you want a child like me?" Mrs. Rivers took her small hand and replied, "Because you are not just a child, you are our child, and every thread of your story is part of ours now." By her sixth birthday, Maya had memorized the layout of the house. She knew where the extra snacks were hidden, where the dog liked to nap, and where Mr. Rivers kept the storybooks. Most importantly, she knew deep in her chest that she wasn't leaving. Maya was in primary 4 when a girl in her class, Tolu, made a cruel remark during break. "At least I'm not even adopted. They didn't even want you." The words hit like a slap. Maya said nothing, but that night she cried herself to sleep. Mrs. Rivers found her coiled in a ball the next morning and gently asked what was wrong. Through sobs, Maya said, "I'm not real. I'm not your real daughter." Mr. Rivers came in quietly, knelt by the bed and said, "You know what makes someone real, Maya? It's not blood. It's not the hospital where you were born in. It's not the name you were given. It's who stays when it's hard. It's who fights for you. And that's what makes someone real. Then you are the realest thing that ever happened to us." By the time Maya turned 12, she was full of life. She was filled up with light. She danced around the house, wrote poems in her journals, and won a regional spelling bee. She didn't just survive her childhood, she bloomed from it. She started volunteering at an orphanage during holidays. "I know what it's like," she tells the little ones, "to feel invisible. But you are not. You are more than your past." Her dream was clear. She wanted to become a child gynecologist. She wanted to help others find their voice, the way her parents helped her find hers. Years later, Maya graduated from the University of Lagos with honor in psychology. Her parents sat front row, tears streaming down their faces. When Maya walked up to receive her certificate, she turned towards them, smiled and mounted, "Thank you." At 30, she gave a TED talk titled "Chosen Twice: The Power of Belonging." Standing in front of thousands, she told her story with no shame, but with pride. "I was abandoned once," she said, "but I was chosen twice, once by life and again by love." and in the end, love won.